Do you feel trapped in a whirlwind of thoughts that don't give you peace? Have you ever noticed how sometimes your mind seems to never stop? If you've ever felt overwhelmed by your thoughts, in the next few minutes, I'll share some teachings with you that can transform your relationship with your thoughts, allowing you to live more calmly, more present, and at peace with yourself. Often, we find ourselves caught in an endless stream of thoughts, as if our minds were constantly working at full capacity without giving us a break. If this struggle feels familiar, take a moment to pause and breathe. You're not alone in this journey to inner peace. For more tools to quiet your busy mind, like this video and subscribe for weekly guidance. Together, let's create space for calm, one thought at a time. One of the main causes of excessive thinking is stress. We live in a world where we're constantly under pressure, whether from work, family responsibilities, or social expectations. This stress triggers a mental alarm that keeps us in a constant state of alert, filling our minds with thoughts about what we need to do, what we could have done better, or what's yet to come. Another major factor is anxiety, fear of the future. Worry about what could go wrong or uncertainty about what's to come creates the perfect breeding ground for constant thinking. This anxiety makes us replay possible scenarios over and over, even when we have no control over them. The more we focus on these thoughts, the more entangled our minds become in a cycle that's hard to escape. This rumination, repeating itself endlessly, can become so invasive that it consumes much of our mental energy. Daily worries also play a significant role in this process. Small or large concerns, from solving a problem at work to navigating personal relationships, keep us mentally occupied. Even constant exposure to technology, social media, and news bombards us with information, amplifying the noise in our minds. The problem with this constant thinking isn't just that it mentally exhausts us. It has profound consequences for our inner peace. When our minds are busy with endless thoughts about what might happen, what we haven't done, or what we can't control, it becomes impossible to be present in the moment. We disconnect from the reality happening right now. This disconnection from the present is one of the main causes of our feelings of dissatisfaction and anxiety. It's as if our minds are elsewhere, worried about the future or stuck in the past, while the present passes us by. This constant mental noise not only prevents us from enjoying everyday experiences, but also affects our overall well-being. When our minds are trapped in a cycle of unresolved thoughts, finding calm and tranquility becomes much harder. The mind becomes like a storm, always in motion, leaving no space for serenity or reflection. Worst of all, we often aren't even aware that we're stuck in this pattern. We're so used to overthinking that it feels like a natural part of life. But in reality, this habit can prevent us from living with greater awareness, balance, and inner peace. Excessive thinking also affects our ability to experience life fully. Anxiety about the future, regret about the past, or constant worries make us miss the opportunity to enjoy the little things in daily life. We forget to connect with what truly matters, moments of calm, the beauty of a sunset, or the company of loved ones. Instead of savoring the present, we're distracted by a relentless flow of thoughts that keeps us from experiencing life to its fullest. In summary, excessive thinking, fueled by stress, anxiety, and daily worries, not only drains us emotionally and mentally but also distances us from our inner peace, prevents us from being present, disconnects us from our true essence, and diminishes our ability to enjoy the moment and live with well-being. That's why understanding how our minds work and learning to manage them is the first step toward a more fulfilling and mindful life. Now I'm going to show you simple strategies to stop overthinking. Live with simplicity. In Buddhism, simplicity isn't just about reducing material possessions. It's about creating a lifestyle that fosters inner peace and mental clarity. Living simply is a powerful way to free ourselves from the overload of stimuli constantly bombarding our minds. In today's society, we're surrounded by distractions, social media, text messages, emails, ads, and endless demands for our attention. All of this contributes to a never-ending stream of thoughts. Buddhism invites us to step back and reflect on what's truly essential in our lives, letting go of the unnecessary. One of the most direct ways to practice simplicity is by organizing your space. Our environment deeply impacts our minds. If we live surrounded by clutter and chaos, our minds tend to reflect that same disorganized energy. Accumulating objects or lacking order can create a sense of overwhelm, increasing mental stress. On the other hand, keeping our space clean and tidy creates an environment that invites calm and serenity. By reducing physical clutter, we also eliminate a constant source of distraction, allowing our minds to focus better on what truly matters. Simplicity isn't just about the physical, it also applies to our mental and digital lives. We live in an era where information consumption is nearly constant. News, social media, and emails constantly demand our attention, creating mental overload. Practicing simplicity means being mindful of what information we consume and how it affects us. We can start by reducing screen time, avoiding sensationalist news, or consciously disconnecting from technology at certain times of the day. By cutting back on information intake, we give our minds space to rest and process what's truly important. Simplicity also means taking time to disconnect and rest. There's often pressure to always be busy, as if there's always something more to do. However, Buddhism teaches that simply doing nothing can be deeply restorative. This can include regular breaks during the day, aimless walks in nature, or even moments of silent meditation. These restful pauses are essential for reducing anxiety and excessive thinking, because they allow us to just be, without the pressure to always be in motion. By simplifying our thoughts and surroundings, we create a clearer space free of unnecessary noise. When we stop overloading our minds with excess stimuli, we find greater clarity and focus on what truly matters. Simplicity helps us center ourselves in the present, enjoy what we have instead of craving more, and feel more connected to our inner well-being. It's an act of returning to the essentials, freeing ourselves from distractions that cloud our minds, and finding peace in stillness and simplicity. In short, living simply doesn't just reduce physical clutter, it also helps calm the mind and focus on what truly holds value. Use mantras or affirmations. The use of mantras is one of the oldest and most powerful practices in Buddhism, known for its ability to calm the mind and reduce the constant flow of thoughts. A mantra is a word, syllable, or phrase repeated continuously and with focus, either silently or softly, and has the power to create a mental vibration that can restore inner balance. In Buddhist traditions, mantras are used as tools for concentration, meditation, and mental transformation, helping to push away distractions and center the mind in the present. Mantras don't have to be complex or traditional to be effective. We can also create personal, positive affirmations that resonate with our situation and needs. Phrases like, "I am at peace," "My mind is calm," or "All is well in this moment" have similar power, as they help direct our thoughts toward positivity and calm. By repeating these affirmations, we redirect our attention from mental chaos to a space of stillness, making negative or excessive thoughts lose their grip. The most valuable aspect of mantras and affirmations is that they're accessible tools we can use at any time of the day. When we feel overwhelmed by mental noise, we can close our eyes, take a deep breath, and begin repeating our chosen mantra or affirmation. This repetition becomes a form of active meditation, where the mind not only quiets, but also refocuses on a clear, positive intention. The mind naturally tends to wander from thought to thought, but by focusing on the mantra, we prevent those thoughts from taking up unnecessary space. Beyond reducing overthinking, mantras and affirmations also have a profound effect on our emotional energy. The constant repetition of intention-filled words reinforces our belief in our ability to find inner peace. Over time, this creates a shift in how we perceive situations, helping us cultivate a calmer, more resilient mindset. By incorporating mantras or affirmations into our daily routine, we create an inner space of calm and clarity. This practice not only helps reduce excessive thinking, but also allows us to center ourselves in the present, letting go of the mental noise that so often consumes us. Using mantras and affirmations gives our mind a refuge of serenity, one that supports us in moments of agitation and reconnects us with our inner peace. The power of silence and stillness. In Buddhism, silence and stillness aren't just the absence of sound. They're deep practices that allow the mind to find peace and rest. We live in a world constantly filled with stimuli, noises, conversations, notifications, thoughts. All of this creates a continuous flow of information that can saturate our minds, making us more susceptible to overthinking and anxiety. That's why Buddhism emphasizes the importance of pausing, a conscious retreat from external noise, so we can return to the center of our minds, where calm and clarity reside. The practice of being silent, even for just a few minutes a day, becomes a transformative tool for reducing mental noise. This time of stillness allows our minds to release the overload of thoughts, returning to their natural state of peace. By disconnecting from external stimuli, we give our minds the space they need to relax, letting go of unnecessary thoughts that often drag us into cycles of worry. In this silence, we're not doing anything, but we're deeply present with ourselves, which helps restore our mental and emotional balance. A key place to start this practice is finding moments during the day when we can disconnect from everything around us. It can be as simple as turning off your phone for a few minutes, closing your eyes and letting the sounds of the world fade away. This space of disconnection offers a chance to reset the mind, especially in the middle of a day filled with activity and distractions. You can also choose a quiet place, whether at home, in nature, or even a secluded corner of your office, where you can sit in silence, observe your breath, and simply be without doing anything. Stillness, when practiced consciously, has the power to calm thoughts and bring mental clarity. As the mind settles, thoughts that once felt overwhelming begin to lose their force and eventually fade away on their own. This practice isn't just a form of rest. It's a way to train our minds to be more resilient against daily distractions and worries. Stillness creates an inner space for reflection where we can observe our thoughts without identifying with them. The true essence of this strategy lies in understanding that silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's an opportunity to reconnect with our deepest essence. Buddhism teaches that in silence, we can find answers to questions we didn't even know we had. The noise of the world can make us lose touch with ourselves, but by dedicating time to silence and stillness, we reclaim that connection and allow inner peace to emerge. As the mind grows accustomed to these moments of silence, excessive thinking begins to diminish because we've created a space where thoughts aren't overloaded or accumulated. Stillness, then, not only helps reduce mental noise, but also offers us the chance to cultivate the inner calm we all need to face life with greater serenity and balance. Practicing silence and stillness regularly allows us to restore our energy, reclaim our peace, and re-establish our connection with what truly matters. As we reach the culmination of this journey together, I invite you to pause, right here, right now, and take a deep, intentional breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, the slight expansion of your chest, the gentle release as you exhale. This simple act is your first step toward the profound transformation that awaits you. The path to lasting serenity, true peace, is not a distant shore to be reached after years of struggle. It is the very ground beneath your feet in this present moment. The chaos of life will continue. External circumstances may shift, challenges will arise, thoughts will swirl, but your relationship to them can change entirely. By weaving these practices into the fabric of your daily existence, you are not just learning techniques, you are undergoing a radical shift in consciousness. Each mindful breath, each moment of stillness, each repetition of a grounding mantra is a revolution against the tyranny of uncontrolled thinking. You are reclaiming your inner sovereignty, the illusion of perfection. So many of us wait for the perfect conditions to find peace. When I finish this project, when I resolve this conflict, when life gets easier. But peace does not live in the future. It thrives in the messy, beautiful, imperfect now. The greatest wisdom lies in understanding that serenity isn't the absence of storms. It's the ability to stand calmly in their midst, knowing they cannot shake what is unshakable within you. The power of micro-moments transformation happens in the accumulation of small, consistent acts. The 3 conscious breaths you take before answering a stressful email, the 10 seconds of silence you observe while waiting in line, the single meaningful mantra you repeat when anxiety whispers, the intentional pause before reacting. To provocation, these micro-moments are your secret weapons. They may seem insignificant, but like drops of water filling an ocean, they create a tidal shift in your consciousness over time. Silence, your most powerful ally in a world addicted to noise, both external and internal. Silence is the most radical act of self-care. When you sit in stillness, you're not doing nothing, you're doing everything. You're allowing wisdom to rise, intuition to speak, and clarity to emerge from the depths of your being. Make space for silence daily. Even 1 minute with your eyes closed, listening to the sound of your own existence, can recalibrate your entire nervous system. The art of gentle perseverance. Some days, mindfulness will feel effortless. Other days, your mind will feel like a wild horse refusing to be tamed. On those difficult days, remember, the struggle is part of the practice. Every time you gently bring your attention back from distraction, you're strengthening your mental muscles in ways that compound over time. There is no failing at mindfulness, only learning, growing, and beginning again. An eternal invitation. The present moment is infinitely patient. No matter how many times you've gotten lost in thought, it always waits for you with open arms, offering a fresh start. Right now, and now, and now. This is your lifelong invitation to return again and again to the sanctuary of now. Your legacy. Of peace as you continue on your path, remember that your inner work creates ripples far beyond yourself. When you operate from a place of centered calm, you give others permission to do the same. Your presence becomes a healing force in a chaotic world, a blessing for your journey may. You walk through life with the unshakable knowing that peace is your birthright. May you find stillness in movement and wisdom in silence. May you meet each challenge with the quiet confidence of one who remembers their true nature. And when you forget, as we all do, may you always find your way home to the present moment, where everything you need has always been waiting. The door to peace is always open. You need only step through, take another breath, begin again. The journey continues.